Welcome to this first edition of the Journeys of Lamat. In this series I will share how I changed a 31 feet steel boat that was in need of a new owner from basically a hull to a fully fledged fast cruiser. I didn't initially intend buying half a boat, neither did I expect to pay such a lot of money for it that I did in the end. In today's economy one can buy a boat very cheaply. The problem is that most of these cheap boats have some sort of problem that is only discovered after the boat had been sold. In South Africa, we don't have many sophisticated boat surveyors such as in other countries, and one has to rely on the word of the former owner. And taking the boat out of the water every time for a potential buyer is an expensive exercise for an owner who is trying to sell his boat. Keeping it on the hard until it's sold isn't an option really, and it's also very expensive as one pays for the space at a per day charge. After being in the market for a while and looking for a good boat, I eventually found Lamat. Well, let's rather say it had found me. It all happened during December of 2013 when I travelled all the way from Johannesburg to Cape Town to view a few boats that I'd seen on the internet. They weren't in a good shape, unfortunately, as many of them had been left out in spring moorings and not looked after. I became somewhat despondent, and while sitting at the False Bay Yacht Club restaurant in Simonstown and having lunch with a friend of mine, I by chance stumbled upon a yacht builder who had built a yacht for himself. It was a Moeckli 31 with a custom canopy. Now I know Theodore Moeckli was a naval architect in Cape Town between the 1960s and the 1990s, and he was well known for his excellent boats he designed. Being at retirement age, I could see that the owner's funds had dried up with this particular boat, as the boat wasn't completed, and Lamat was for sale. It was a real pity to see the boat half finished. It was fine on the outside and in a seaworthy and sailing condition, but had nothing inside it really. It was basically a hull. At first I thought, one could potentially change her into a racer, but her shallow keel and her steel weight weren't really making her right for it. The only way for the boat was to become a fast cruiser that could participate in races as a cruiser now and then, all left unfinished, as she was, to participate in local races in the bay and then aging with time and not be of use to anybody really. The other problem it had is that I'm nearly 6 feet 3 and the headspace at the highest point after outfitting was 6 feet. The owner was short in height. It was perfect for him. Even knowing this, I felt the boat had potential. I immediately hired a team of experienced marine carpenters who started with the outfitting of the boat. Every nook and cranny had to be measured. The fire retardant closed cell insulation, adhesives, wood and veneers had to be researched, and in many cases, such as the insulation, specially manufactured. I wanted to keep Lamat under 5.5 tons or 12,000 pounds. The process was slow and very expensive. At times I thought I had made a terrible mistake. However, the boat presented an opportunity to install the latest in electrics and navigation equipment and to make her a very modern, state-of-the-art and unique boat. Though completed in 2006, she was as new as the day she was put in the water. I had her doing sea trials with 2 very experienced skippers, and they put her through her paces in about 20 to 30 knots of wind and rough seas. What impressed me was that she easily reached speeds between 11 and 13 knots, surfing the waves. She was clearly a 10-knot boat and faster. The boat really impressed me, and after all the disappointments I've suffered with the slow process of getting her done, at least I now know she will be safe at sea while being able to handle rough seas, and in addition, she will be a very fast boat.